Hi, this is Dr. Go, and this video is all about finding your own best hand frame. Now, everybody's hands, their fingers, the size of their palms, etc. is different. So that means their hand frames are also going to be different. But this video is about some mechanics that transfer well between people and seem to work rather well. So I'll share those with you, as well as a step-by-step method, if you will, to put everything together and find your own most comfortable hand frame. Okay? So let's begin. The first thing we have to realize is that gravity is our friend. You never want to fight gravity in the case of the violin, okay? Well, maybe not never, but very rarely do you want to fight gravity on the violin. So in the case of the left hand, we're going to use gravity to help stop the string, but we also have to remember that we don't use strength. You don't want to use strength to stop the string. Instead, you want to align your bones in a way that makes the string stop from just the weight of your arm, your hand, your wrist, the whole left arm apparatus. And it doesn't take a lot of weight to stop a string. On a violin especially. Now you compare a violin against a viola. Viola takes a little bit more, cello takes a little bit more, double bass takes a little bit more effort to stop the string. I was just actually talking to a luthier who sets up different instruments, and he was telling me actually this idea of needing to put more pressure on the string for a cello than a violin, he said in his experience it's incorrect. That means the instrument was set up incorrectly by the luthier. It doesn't take a lot of effort on any instrument that's properly set up to stop the string. So without further ado, let's get going on stopping the string. Okay, so first things first, you want to put the violin up, and this is something I covered in other videos, but we'll refresh. You want to go all the way till the neck of the violin is in the web between the thumb and the forefinger. Now at this point, you want to make a good hook. A good hook means 90-degree angles all through here, like a box from this knuckle over to your fingertip. Think of a box there. Okay, go all the way up the web, make a good hook, and using the weight of your elbow, just touch the E string. Don't try to bow anything, just touch the E string. Now, at this point in time, if you tap the E string, I'm going to put my bow down so you tap a little harder. Should be able to make a noise there. And the first knuckle should not buckle like this at all. Okay, it should stay upright. Yeah, and note, I'm not putting a lot of downward pressure like this. I'm just touching the string and tapping. Okay, now let's try that again. And this time, first and second finger. So first and second finger, make a good hook, use the elbow, touch the string. And you'll notice with a good hook, first and second finger, the fingertips will be split a little bit. Okay, so good hooks, drop to hit the E string, and again, tap the top knuckle on both. Yeah, just tap right there. And it should make that noise. And it should not buckle. If your finger buckles, your hook didn't work for you. Keep experimenting until it doesn't buckle, okay? And it should not be tense. I see some people make the mistake of flat knuckles here, okay? The tension is not going to help you. It needs to be a natural curve here. So just a good hook, okay? Now let's try with the third finger. So first, second, and third, make a good hook. Just drop from the elbow and touch the string, okay? Don't pull it down, just drop from here, drop from the elbow, touch the string, and again, tap, okay? If you feel your third finger, you tap on it, okay, and you feel it collapse, that means it wasn't a good hook. And notice when you have a good hook, you tap on it, most students, the second and third fingertips will be together. Okay, some not, because their finger lengths are different, but most of them that I've encountered so far, it ends up in this pattern. Okay, something like we learned in Book 1 Suzuki or some other beginner books. Now, let's do this again for the fourth finger. So we're going to go all the way up to the web again. First, second, third, make a hook, drop to the E string, tap to make sure they're solid. Now, the fourth finger, just naturally let it fall. And again, tap. Okay, I don't know if I can get the good angle. Yep, tap right here and get that sound. Yeah, should get a sound from each one. And it like, see the thumb off, sound, and they're not collapsing. Now, remember this, do this a few times so you can feel this hand. The angle of the wrist, take a picture of it, take a video of it, go into the mirror and take a look at it, record it somehow, and memorize the feel of this. Okay, that's step one. Step two. In my video on stopping the string, the myth of finger pressure, I talked about going from a harmonic to a solid note. Okay, so let's go further into this using step number one. So I'm going to purposely pancake my wrist and use the fat of my finger to make the harmonic. Okay, now as I go, I'm going to slowly correct the wrist, correct the hook of the finger. So remember, the hook and the wrist are both important. And my whole goal is to stop the string without moving the string. If I press the string all the way down, I don't know if I can get a good camera angle on this, but you can see the string will move if I press it all the way down. Okay, maybe this is a better angle. Okay, so my goal here on this exercise is to try to stop the string without moving the string. I don't want it to move at all. Okay? It may move a little bit, but try to move it as little as possible. So start the harmonic. I'm going to break the wrist. I'm going to use the fat part of my finger. Now I'm going to correct the wrist first. And make sure you use a strong bow on this. Don't tiny bow like this. You won't hear anything. Use a strong bow. Now I'm going to correct the wrist. Back to harmonic. Now, I just made a mistake there, and I hope you heard it. If I press too hard, the note will go sharp. If you play harmonic and you press down, it goes sharp. Instead of okay, if you do it correctly, it won't go sharp. So, try to do that 6 times in a row, where you go from a harmonic to a stop string. Okay, now, when you actually play for real, you will add a little bit more force than this, but not much. Okay, so once you find this, okay, you'll feel everything a lot later. Now make sure this exercise, repeat with all 4 fingers. Definitely the first finger is the easiest, the fourth finger is the hardest. Okay, so once you have that feeling and you found the correct shape for your hand, now remember this, your hand, your shape, everything is going to be different than other people's. So don't try to compare. Yeah, if it works for you, it's right. Your teacher says it's right, it's right. If it doesn't work for you, then it's wrong. Okay? So after that, then apply that to your scales. Remember, the theory, a good solid bow, I tell my students, forte, bow hand, piano, left hand, violin hand. Yeah? And if you do everything correctly, you will find that a gentle arm vibrato, very gentle, will be extremely easy because all the joints will be relaxed out. Okay? So remember, you start with the hook for step 1, yeah, and align the fingers correctly with the wrist and your elbow from step 1. And then step 2 is solidifying that position in your head, not solid like concrete solid, but the concept in your head, not the physical aspect of solid. And then from there, apply and start to experiment even more to find what's really comfortable for you and makes the sound that you want. And remember, in that video, Stopping the String, the myth of finger pressure, I talked about sometimes we need to bury the finger through the fingerboard to get the right type of sound, right type of vibrato and everything. That's another thing. Better to watch that video to see how that works, okay? And the explanation for that. But this one is just finding your natural hand shape. Eventually, there are many, many, many more types of sounds that we can create from the left hand itself, and different pressures we need to put in the string, to make those sounds. But especially for fast passages, you don't want to be sitting there with lead in your fingertips. Okay, you want them as light as possible with a good sound. And remember this, once you find your shape, you need to experiment with exactly how much weight per string, per type of sound you want. Some sounds, yes, you do have to put a little bit more weight than others. Some, especially fast running notes, not too much, otherwise you can't run. Okay, it's just simple physics. So if anything I said here is contrary to what your teacher is telling you, please ignore me, listen to your teacher. But if you're one of my students who is needing to watch this video for your next lesson so you don't get, ripped apart, I'm joking, I'm a nice guy, then please watch this video a few times and make sure you get it right, okay? And to the rest of you, I wish all of you the best on this incredible journey of this wonderful instrument. Cheers.